Hey everyone, John with Lead Capture IO here. We just launched some new updates and features into the Lead Capture platform. For those of you who do not know, we tend to release updates bi-weekly. At some point, I'll be sending out a roundup of all the recent stuff we've launched and some exciting things that are coming. But for today's video, I wanted to focus on one of the things that we launched that I'm really excited about, and it's the ability to add the Facebook Pixel ID right into your lead capture form with the ability to add custom conversion events to any button within your lead form. This is huge for those of you who are running Facebook ads and need to get your conversion data back into Facebook more accurately, especially for those of you who are looking to add event tracking to buttons. This is something that's highly requested. It's been a long time coming. It was a lot of work to make this happen. There were a lot of things we had to figure out, but we made it happen, and I'm really excited about the potential for this. And this also opens us up to the ability to do this for other ad platforms in the near future. I know there's a lot of requests for Google Ads and so on. So just to kind of back up from a high level, the way this worked before was if you needed to track Facebook conversions inside of your lead capture form, you had to jump through a bunch of hoops, and it was kind of annoying. You basically had to go to the lead delivery, add a huge snippet of JavaScript and your pixel ID there, or you had to add it to the landing page, and then you couldn't track button clicks, the events. You would have to basically go to the contact step and add a conversion event or put that on your thank you page. So that was okay. It worked. It was just a lot of setup work. And then in some cases, if people had ad blockers turned on, the data wouldn't feed back into Facebook. There's better ways of doing it, and that's what we got to with this update. So let's just dive into this here. So the way this works is you can now add your Facebook Pixel ID. I'll show you how to do that in a moment, and event tracking to any single button within the lead capture form. For those of you who are new to Facebook event tracking and all of that type of stuff, that may sound kind of intimidating, but it's really easy to set up, and I'll show you how to do that here. So when it comes to setting up events, there's two different types of events that you can push into Facebook. By default, Facebook provides what are called standard events, and you can add in any of these standard events. When it comes to capturing leads, you would probably just use the lead event. So you just take this lead event and you add it right into the lead form like this. I'll show you how to do that. But you can also add in purchase, you can add schedule, search, and so on. You can also push custom events into Facebook, or I probably should be saying Meta, but you can push custom events into Facebook as well. So if for some reason you do not want to use the standard event, maybe you're capturing leads for, I don't know, like a webinar, or maybe for a different part of your lead form or for lead verification, you can create your own custom event like webinar conversion and push that into Facebook, and that's really cool. And it's a whole new way that you could begin to feed this data back into Facebook from your lead form. So let's take a look at how to set this up. So first, go to Settings, Facebook Pixel, and you're going to need to add your Facebook Pixel. Now to get your pixel here, you'll go into Facebook. I'm in this section here, Events Manager. Here's my pixel. And then you just grab it from Data Set ID, copy that, paste it in, click Save. So that's step one. And then step two, there's really only two steps, is to add the event to whatever button will trigger the conversion. So in this case, this really depends on how you have your lead capture form set up. In this case, we're going to trigger the conversion when the submit button is clicked and the lead form is submitted. So we'll add it to the submit button. Now to find the place to add the conversion event, you'll click into the step, go to the left-hand side and scroll all the way to the bottom here to Facebook event tracking. Expand this, and this is where you're going to add in the Facebook event name. So this is either going to be a standard event, like I just showed you here, or it could be a custom event. I'm going to use the standard event, so I'll just go to this page, copy this where it says lead, and paste it in, go up here and click Save. And that's all you have to do. At this point, when the lead form is submitted, it will push that information into Facebook, and I'll show you that in a moment. Before I get to that, there's one more thing, or maybe two more things that I want to highlight here. The other thing to note is that in addition to adding it to the submit button, you can also add it to any button of the lead capture form. So for example, let's say for some reason that I only want an event to fire when someone chooses 400 to 500 or 500 plus. Maybe all of these different responses are responses that would lead to a disqualified lead, and I don't want that event to fire, but I do want it to fire here for some reason. Or maybe it's a piece of data that I want Facebook to optimize on. So I can go in here, and then I could go to 400 to 500 plus, click on the little pencil, and then you'll see there's this new section here called Facebook Event Tracking, and then you can add in your event name, whatever you want it to be. You could use a standard event, or you can use a custom event, and you could say something like qualified lead, something like that, and click save, and then save up here. And then that will add an event just to this button, but not the rest. And then you could do the same one for this. You'll see in my testing, I actually added a event name called test, and I'll show you how this works now in a demo. So, before I go into that, one other thing I wanted to note for those of you who are using phone verification, this is really cool. So let's say that you're verifying phone leads and you have the OTP phone verification step turned on. So you can track the conversion before they verify their phone number. And the benefit here is you can feed that conversion data back into Facebook. So this way you can at least get that conversion data back in the event that for whatever reason someone does not verify their phone number. Or you could choose not to capture the event here, and you can capture the event on the verify click. You'll see here, here's the Facebook event tracking. So you can kind of choose whether or not you want the data to feed back into Facebook based on whether or not they verify their phone number. Or another thing you can do is you can add your event tracking here to submit. You can also add your event tracking here to verify. So you could call this maybe something like lead or partial lead, and this something like lead or verified lead. And then you can push that information into Facebook, distinguish between the lead type, and then use that data to optimize Facebook for higher intent leads. There's so many things you can do now that you could not do before. So at this point, let's take a look at how this works. So here is that same test lead form that I have set up. This is on just a simple landing page that I created in Leadpages. And this button right here has the test event. This is using a custom event that will get pushed into Facebook. None of these buttons have an event set up. So notice the Facebook Pixel Helper up here. This is a Chrome extension. Nothing happens when I click on it, but when I click 0 to 100, now you will see that we have just captured the event of test. Here's my Pixel ID, so it's all firing. If you're not using the Facebook Pixel ID thing, then highly recommend it. Makes it easier to kind of see what's happening. And then if I were to click submit and then submit the lead form, you would also see the Pixel ID firing as well. And I'm not going to submit this lead form, but what will happen here is once you submit, you can come into Facebook, the events manager, come back here where you got your Pixel ID, scroll down, and you'll begin to see the Facebook events populate. It could take 30 to 45 minutes for the event to show. So if you push a lead through and you do not see it, do not panic. It just takes some time. You might even need to push a few leads through. So here's some tests that I recently ran, 5 events on lead. Here's that test custom event. So this one's the standard event. This is the custom event. You'll see 1 lead when you push a custom event in for the first time. I think you'll have to then go through like a verification process with Facebook to verify that you want to use that custom event. So just keep that in mind. Make sure you come in, check it, and then verify the event. But these are 2 test events that I pushed through the other day, and you'll see it's working. So again, give it like 30 to 45 minutes. And if you don't see it come through, then just give it longer, push some more tests through. And then if you still don't see it come through, then reach out, but it should be working fine. That's pretty much it at this point. So please give it a try. If you have any feedback or see any adjustments that need to be made from there, just let us know. What's coming next is something that I'm even more excited about, and that's email verification. It was supposed to come this week. I've been promising this, but there's a few things we had to work out, some things we're trying to get right with it before we launch it, and this is going to be pretty game-changing when it comes to verifying your emails right inside of your lead form. So stay tuned for an update on that. And AI agents, I still have to send out a whole video around that. There's some really cool things happening there. So tons of stuff happening, but this will really help in terms of tracking conversion for Facebook and making the setup way simpler. Thanks.